firefighters. When you sign up to wear a badge and carry a gun, guess what you signed up for? You're going to have to work some weekends. You're going to have to miss some holidays. If you decide to become a major singing star, you can't eat at McDonald's anymore because everyone is going to want to have a piece of you.
Yeah.
And that's what you signed up for. So when you become president of the United States, you are held to a higher standard than everyone else. You're the leader of the free world.
Right.
Well, I just want to intervene really quick. We really want to hear from you guys on this subject. So, our lines are always open, and you can call us at 702-425-7789, or you can also chat with us live anytime during the show on Spreaker.com. So, with that being said, just to kind of switch it over a little bit, do you think the president sending all these insults via Twitter, via the internet, will deter the actions of the athletes? Or, do you think the NBA, NFL ratings are going to suffer? What do you think about that? What do you think about the athletes intervening?
I think I really believe, with all due respect, and I say this with no pun intended, we have seen that what our president says and what he does not affect the athletes. Right. It will not affect sports at all. It will not, in terms of people loving the game of basketball, loving the game of football, hockey, and things of that nature. I don't believe that he can influence people to stop supporting TV and supporting the sport. On the other hand, though, I do believe he has an influence over the owners. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. I do believe that his voice is considered and what he says is being considered. And individuals are putting a stance against those who want to do a silent, safe, and peaceful protest, not against the government, not against the white. They're protesting injustice, and you turn it into patriotism. It's not a question of patriotism. I believe all of us who are here and who are Americans, we love the country, we fight. Every ethnicity fight for it. Every ethnicity has full investment within it. So it's not a patriotism issue. You're talking about people who are tired of injustice and a biased type of leadership. So I don't believe that President Trump has the ability to prevent people and prohibit people from watching and supporting television. And with the athletes, I truly believe it's going to motivate them to take their stand and stand for what they believe in. What do you think, Chief?
Oh, I agree. And, protests are not new in athletics. Nope. Even if you go back, you look at Jim Brown.
Muhammad Ali in Vietnam.
Muhammad Ali, the 1968 4x100 relay team in Mexico. And, when those guys had the black gloved fists raised in the air. So this is not new. And even back then, people had issues with the protests, as opposed to what is it they were protesting. Muhammad Ali, when he refused to be inducted into the service, his issue was the treatment of African Americans here in the U.S. And his rationale was, I've never had anyone across the ocean to, call me a terrible name or to mistreat me. And that was his rationale. The 4x100 relay team in Mexico City, same thing. They raised the black glove in solidarity with the protests that were occurring as part of the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. So now we've just really come full circle to another group of athletes who have recognized that there are some challenges with our great country and things need to improve.
Yes.
And so I guess, why does it feel like, at least the way I'm perceiving things, why does it feel like there's so much more anger and vile being levied towards, the Steph Currys and LeBron James of the world than in the past?
I think that these guys have reached a level of influence in our society and in our community than guys in the past and of the past. I mean, it's a new day. I mean, these guys have influence over every ethnicity, every skin color, and their voice is considered, you know. And so when you think about the athlete, people put the athlete on a pedestal, and sometimes they forget that athletes are mere men and mere women who have been a part of these communities in times past that are overlooked or experiencing a sense of injustice. And so I do want to say this first, guys. We have a lot more to discuss on these issues, but we're going to go to break, and when we return, we will discuss the efforts of the NFL players to bring attention to issues facing our community. Listen, we'll be right back. Looking forward to you tuning in.
To Straight No Chaser, the only show to quench your talk radio thirst. Some programs dilute the issues. We only serve the hard stuff.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Welcome to the Community Happy Hour, where we feature free events throughout the country. The Las Vegas Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is inviting the community to participate in their D-Free Debt Reduction Program's $1 Billion Challenge. Go to www.billiondollarchallenge.com and join the DST LVAC group as they seek to reduce the amount of debt plaguing our communities. The summer concert series will continue every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Largo Plaza Shopping Center in Largo, Maryland. The DPW Free Paper Shredding event for city residents will occur on Saturday, August 18th at 9 a.m. at the Poly High School at 1400 West Cold Spring Lane in Baltimore, Maryland. The College Fest 2018 will occur on Saturday, September 8th at 10 a.m. at the Dilworth Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Gentlemen of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the Ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated are sponsoring the Bowling for Babies event in conjunction with the March of Dimes on Saturday, September 1st at the Texas Station Bowling Alley in Las Vegas, Nevada. And finally, a Child's Dream Back to School giveaway will occur on Saturday, August 18th at 11 a.m. at the Culver City Teen Center in Culver City, California. So come on, everyone, raise your glass and let's celebrate our wonderful communities.
Anyone else?
My name is David, and in 8 years, I'll be an alcoholic.
Hi, David.
I'll start drinking in middle school, just at parties. But my parents won't start talking to me about it till high school. And by then, I'll already be in some trouble.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults.
The thing is, my parents won't even see it coming.
So start talking.
Who's next?
Before they start drinking.
You don't like watered-down issues? Let us serve you the hard stuff. So come on, let's get back to Pastor C, MBZ, and the Chief.
Trump was referring to a CNN interview in which James criticized the president as being divisive.
What I noticed over the last few months, that he's kind of used sport to kind of divide us, and that's something that I can't relate to, because I know that sport was the first time I ever was around someone white, you know, and I got an opportunity to see them and learn about them.
What would you say to the president if he's sitting right here?
I would never sit across from him.
All right, and we are back. We just heard a clippy clip of LeBron retouching on this issue that's going on between him and the president. So with that, let's continue our focus on athletes versus the White House. Now, before we get too deep in our happy hour, let me remind our audience to call us at 702-425-7789 or to live chat your comments. So, you know, we're gonna keep going back and touching on the LeBron situation, but another one of the stories that won't go away is the NFL protest. Now, we touched on this a little bit last week, but we're gonna take it in kind of a different direction. So just like many of the other issues that this country is divided on, the players taking a knee during the national anthem has recently been brought back up because the owners came up with a new policy that's being challenged by the players that will allow the players to remain in the tunnel while the anthem is played, but if they take the field, they must stand. So to some, this action is seen as a slap in the face to our nation because the protest is occurring during the national anthem, but to others, the players are exercising their First Amendment freedoms. Right. So before we get there, we have a caller. So let's see what's going on, caller.
Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Ashley calling from Dallas, Texas. My question is, do you think other athletes are going to step up and take or take the same approach that LeBron did? Do you think other athletes that will encourage other athletes to step up and start opening schools or community centers or things of that nature? You think he has set the example for others?
Well, Ashley, thank you for calling all the way from Dallas, Texas. We appreciate you. I believe so, but I want to remind you that LeBron James was actually not the first athlete to open a school. You have some other athletes out there that started schools, and they didn't get as much notoriety as LeBron did. But I do believe that he set the bar and he's encouraging others to do the same. And I think that it really shows us that he's really in tune with his community. And a lot of guys who came from inner city, like myself, and now have the influence, I truly believe that it will cause an influx of players to begin to stand up and pour into their communities as their finances allow. So yes, I do believe that. Did that answer that question, Ashley?
Miss Ashley?
I think Miss Ashley must have hung up, but we certainly appreciate Ashley calling us from Dallas.
Absolutely. But, you know, back to the players executing their First Amendment freedoms. Now, you know, I truly am torn when it comes to these NFL protests because I really don't know the motive